A wild zebra is grazing when a massive rhinoceros suddenly charges, slamming into its side. The impact shatters two of the zebra's ribs. Writhing in the mud and pain, the zebra looks at the rhino and sees only a vicious enemy. The injured zebra limps down to the river to escape. As it wades into the shallows, a crocodile glides up beside it and speaks in a smooth, sympathetic voice. "That rhino is so cruel. You must be in so much pain." Finally, the zebra thinks, "Someone understands me." But the zebra missed the full picture. Back in the field, the rhino was actually standing directly over a deadly hunter snare, using its armored body to block the path. And in the river, the moment the zebra drops its guard, the sympathetic crocodile snaps its jaws shut. Psychologists referred to this dynamic as the manipulative validation trap. It reveals a highly counterintuitive reality. The people who put up harsh boundaries or block our path are often the ones saving us. Meanwhile, those who offer completely frictionless agreement are often walking us directly toward a cliff. Sweet agreement and unearned validation act as the absolute perfect camouflage for a predator. As humans, we are biologically wired to seek out social validation. For our ancestors, being approved by the herd meant staying inside the safety of the circle. Validation literally equals survival. Today, however, internet culture has taken that natural biological need and hyperinflated it. Social media algorithms deliver a constant, effortless drip of praise, conditioning our brains to expect an environment where we are endlessly and perfectly soothed. This creates a massive psychological blind spot. Just as the zebra mistook the rhino's life-saving shove for an unprovoked assault, we often interpret boundaries as threats. When a coworker or partner offers friction instead of praise, the resulting discomfort feels like an attack. We reach for labels like gaslighter or narcissist to describe the person who hurt our feelings, without realizing they might be the only one standing between us and a trap. By constantly demanding the soothing presence of a sympathetic crocodile, we prioritize immediate comfort over situational awareness, making ourselves easy targets for strategic manipulation. To understand manipulative behavior, researchers use the dark triad, outlining 3 distinct traits. Psychopathy is highly impulsive, which ruins their ability to maintain long-term power. Narcissists demand the spotlight and stumble over their own egos, making them remarkably easy to identify. The true architect of the validation trap is the Machiavellian. They don't mug you in an alley. They don't throw tantrums for attention. A Machiavellian cautiously and rationally invades your life. Their danger lies entirely in their patience. They plan their attack meticulously, wearing the perfect mask of a supportive ally until it is too late for you to move. To a Machiavellian, human relationships are not emotional bonds. They evaluate people purely on utility. They look at you and calculate exactly how much money, status, or power they can extract from having you in their orbit. They deploy the validation trap because it is incredibly efficient. They recognize that offering you sweet, unearned validation is the lowest effort, highest reward method to bypass your critical thinking. When you vent to them, they feel absolutely zero empathy for your problems. They are simply playing a long-term chess match. Agreeing with you is just the calculated move required to secure your trust. Your emotional vulnerability is nothing more than the currency they use to buy control over you. You cannot fix a Machiavellian through healthy communication. You cannot appeal to their sense of empathy because they simply lack those traits. If you react emotionally to their provocations, whether you lash out in anger or beg them for approval, you are playing directly into the exact game they designed. The only way to survive a master strategist is to steal their playbook. You have to harness the non-toxic elements of their own calculated thinking and use it as a shield. For those trapped in inescapable situations, like dealing with a manipulative boss or coworker, psychologists recommend the CBR method: cold, bottom line, rational. The CBR method provides a psychological hazmat suit designed specifically for toxic environments. First, cold. You must become completely emotionally guarded. Treat the manipulator like a paycheck, not a friend. If you shut off the emotional tap, you deny them access to your guilt, your fear, and your need for charm. Second, bottom line. Identify your single tangible goal. If you are at work to provide for your family, remind yourself of that constantly. Force every interaction with the manipulator to serve that specific outcome and ignore the rest. Finally, rational. Focus purely on the real-world results. You must abandon the pointless desire for an apology or a moral victory. You will never win a battle of principles against someone who has no principles. This strategy is strictly a defense mechanism against predators. Normal relationships must rely on mutual empathy to function. By starving the Machiavellian of the emotional reactions they need to survive, you strip them of their leverage. You dismantle the validation trap from the inside out, allowing you to navigate the danger and walk away intact.